Okay, today we're diving into a book you've almost certainly heard of, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Now, on the surface, it looks like a simple story about a shepherd boy looking for some treasure. But it is so much more than that. It's really a roadmap for finding your own purpose in life. So let's get into it. To really get this book, you have to understand the guy who wrote it. Paulo Coelho spent, get this, 11 years of his life studying alchemy. And for him, it wasn't literally about turning lead into gold. It was a spiritual journey, a search for meaning. And you can feel that personal quest on every single page of this story. Before we even get to page 1 of the story, the book just hits you with this question. It asks you directly, what is it you have always wanted to do? Seriously, think about that for a second, because that question is the whole point of the journey we're about to follow. All right, so let's meet our hero. His name is Santiago, and he's a young shepherd out in the fields of Andalusia in Spain. Now, you gotta know, he didn't just fall into this life. He actually chose it. He could have been a priest, but he wanted to travel, to see the world. So for him, his life was simple. His sheep, a good book, and the freedom of the open road. But then, his simple life gets interrupted. He has this dream, and then he has it again. In the dream, a little kid shows up, grabs his hand, and zaps him all the way to the Egyptian pyramids. The kid tells him, hey, if you come here, you're gonna find a hidden treasure. But right when the kid is about to point to the exact spot, poof, he wakes up. And it's a dream he just can't shake. So, what does he do? He finds a gypsy woman who's known for interpreting dreams. He tells her the whole story, and her advice is, well, maybe the most literal interpretation possible. You gotta go to the pyramids. There's a treasure there. Oh, and she wants 10% of it, by the way. Santiago just leaves feeling like an idiot. He's annoyed he wasted his time on something so obvious. Feeling pretty bummed out, Santiago is just sitting on a bench, trying to read his book, when this old man comes and sits down next to him. And this isn't just any old man. He seems to know everything about Santiago, what book he's reading, what he's thinking. And then he introduces himself as Melchizedek, the king of Salem. And this is where we get the absolute core idea of the entire book. The king tells him about something called a personal legend. He says it's basically your true calling in life. You know, it's that thing you dreamed of doing as a kid, before the world convinced you it was silly or impossible. And according to the king, fulfilling that destiny is pretty much the only real job we have. And then comes the line. You know the one. This is probably the most famous quote from the entire book. The king promises Santiago that if you really truly want to follow your personal legend, the entire universe will literally conspire to make it happen. It's this incredible promise of cosmic backup, but you still have to be the one to take the first step. Of course, this advice isn't free. To really commit, Santiago has to put some skin in the game. He has to give the king 1/10 of his flock. In return, the king gives him these 2 stones, a black one and a white one, called Urim and Thummim. They're basically a cosmic yes and no, meant to help him make decisions when he's feeling lost. So he does it. He sells his sheep, he's got a pocket full of money, and his dream is in his sights. He hops on a boat to Africa and lands in Tangier, and bam, it is total culture shock. He can't speak the language, he doesn't understand the customs, he is completely and utterly alone. He almost immediately meets a young guy who speaks Spanish and seems super friendly, offering to be his guide. But in the middle of a busy market, Santiago gets distracted for just a second, and when he looks back, the guy is gone, and so is all of his money. Just like that, in one afternoon, he's gone from a boy with a dream to a broke stranger in a foreign land. Now, this moment right here is the first huge test of his journey. He's hit rock bottom and he has a choice. He can see himself as a poor victim who got cheated, or he can see himself as an adventurer facing a challenge. It's all about perspective, and thankfully, he chooses to be the adventurer. Okay, so with this brand new adventurer mindset, he doesn't just give up. He wanders around until he finds a little crystal shop on a hill that's seen better days. He walks in and offers to clean all the dusty glasses just for a plate of food, and the owner is immediately impressed by his drive. Santiago ends up working at that shop for almost a whole year, and he doesn't just do the bare minimum. He comes up with all these great ideas. He builds a display case outside to attract more customers. He suggests they start serving mint tea in the pretty crystal glasses. And with every idea, the business just explodes. After about 11 months, he's earned enough money to buy twice as many sheep as he started with. So here we go again. He's at another major crossroads. He has the money, he could easily go back to Spain, buy an even bigger flock, and live that comfortable, safe life he knows so well. He can go back to the past, or he can risk every penny he just earned and continue the quest for that treasure. What would you do? He chooses the quest. He remembers what the old king told him, and he realizes something crucial. He can always go back to being a shepherd. That life will always be an option. But the chance to get to the pyramids, that might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So he joins a huge caravan that's about to head out across the Sahara. Now, in this caravan, he meets an Englishman who's on his own quest. He's looking for a legendary 200-year-old alchemist. And it's this Englishman who tells Santiago about another big idea, the soul of the world. You can think of it like this universal energy that connects everything and everyone. And when you're truly following your personal legend, you're tapping right into it. What's so cool here is the contrast. The Englishman is totally buried in his books, trying to learn everything from reading. But Santiago, he learns from the world around him. He learns from the desert itself. The sheer vastness of it all teaches him to be quiet, to observe, and to listen to what he calls the language of the world. He also makes friends with the Cameleer, a really wise guy. And as rumors start flying about tribal wars making the journey super dangerous, the Cameleer shares this incredible piece of wisdom. He tells Santiago that the secret to being happy and to not being afraid is to just live in the present. If you're focused on right now, there's no room for fear. So, after months and months of this long, difficult journey filled with lessons and danger, they finally see it. Way off in the distance, a green line on the horizon that just keeps going. It's the Al Fayoum oasis. It's safety. It's a miracle in the middle of this vast, empty desert. Santiago made it. He crossed the Sahara, he's followed the signs, he's learned from everyone he's met, and he's closer than ever to his treasure. But let me tell you, his journey is nowhere near over. The oasis itself holds a whole new set of challenges. War, the alchemist himself, and an encounter with love that's going to make him question everything. So what happens when your quest for a treasure suddenly conflicts with the life and the love you find along the way? We'll leave you with that to chew on.